So it looks like the MCU might be going forward with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Why is this bad? Well, take a walk with me, if you will. In the early 2000s, when the first X-Men movies were coming out, we essentially had two good comic book movies, or at least two comic book movies that the writers and directors were taking seriously. Superman and Blade. There were some smatterings of some other things that were entertaining, but that was about it. And then we got the X-Men movies, and people were pretty hyped about them, to be fair. The problem is, the franchise still didn't really know what a comic book movie could do or should do. So for anything that we got that was awesome, we got about 3 or 4 other things that were pretty horrible. Much like the Sony Spider-Man verse. But then the great MCU came upon us with Iron Man, and it showed everybody what comic book movies could actually do. And for a long time, they were pulling stuff out of everywhere, and it was like printing money. Culminating in the amazing Endgame. Infinity War is probably better, but still, this was a decade's worth of payoff. But they started to struggle afterwards. Like, really struggle. Like a whole lot of struggle. Finding their footing with the nostalgia play though, I mean, this movie was an event. It was the MCU of old. But it was heavily a nostalgia play. And ultimately, by the end of the movie, I did not feel going forward the MCU had figured out what their problems were. As proof, they brought back Robert Downey Jr. for another nostalgia play. Which brings us back to the issue at hand. If they are actually keeping Hugh Jackman instead of bringing on a whole new set of X-Men, it proves that they really don't know how to go forward anymore. To give us the Guardians of the Galaxies. To build an entire empire off the back of a character like Iron Man. And the hardcore MCU stans, fans, whatever you want to call them, will attack me on this. They'll say, oh, I'm just not understanding how the movie business works or how things go up and down. But I do actually understand because we follow trends in the movie business. And the trend for the MCU is without nostalgia plays, they're not making great movies at this moment. I will be the one that's happiest of anyone to be proven wrong by the next slate of movies coming out from the MCU. But stuff like this, it just has me a bit worried. But hey, what do you guys think? Hope everybody's well. See you around.